Who says James Bond is fake? A plane mysteriously arrives, nothing to see here, just a billion in gold reserves disappearing overnight. And that wasn't the only claim we were digging up. Manuel and I looking through this earlier. The other one being a bit more sinister, saying maybe the plane was carrying weapons. We've seen suggestions of mercenaries. So it's all about this plane, isn't it?
It is, but there are some things that we do know. So we know where it started. And it was a tweet from the National Assembly. They put out this tweet from the Parliament Speaker Jose Guerrera, who said that he had gotten information from the central bank in Venezuela that a plane from Moscow was landing to extract at least 20 tons of gold.
Well, and we reached out to him, and there was no specific evidence given here. We have reached out and had no response. But one thing that is key here is we've been able to do some digging about the plane itself, and I think that's the key.
Yeah, there are some things. There's the movement of the plane, and I'm going to show you because these are the things that we were actually able to prove. This is flight radar. It allows us to pull up in real time flight movements of planes. And as you can see, we pulled up the number of this plane in question. So the registration number VPBJG, that was the registration number. And you can see here that it flew from Moscow all the way here to Caracas in Venezuela. And it landed in Caracas. It stayed there a couple days. And then what the flight radar shows us is that it flew back from Caracas on the 30th of January, so yesterday, all the way back to Moscow. So the flight radar really allowed us to figure out the movements of the plane, but we also had photographic evidence.
And this is key here as well. This information backed up by these photographs showing that aircraft, this Nordwind Airlines, we've reached out to them for comment, no response. That's key. On the ground in Caracas, leaving Caracas, and then look at this, arriving in Moscow. So that account Emmanuel just gave you, backed up by photographs. Now, there are no, we've tried to look into this, Nordwind flights. It's not a regular route the airline flies. In fact, you can't book a flight from Venezuela to Moscow. So this is an abnormal movement of this plane.
We were able to prove the movements of the flight, but we still don't know what was in the flight, why it was there, and we're still trying to confirm that information.
It is worth saying that the Russians have called this fake news. Any suggestion the Russian state is helping move gold out of the country, but as Manuel says there, the rumours online are circulating because we know the movements of the plane, what was on board, who was on board. That's what we don't know.